stay in? What do you think? I know my answer straight away. Wow, what a beautiful morning. Morning campers, how the devil are you? I've come to Hadfield and I always forget just how cold it is here up in the hills. Bloody freezing, got me bloody shorts on again. And my stupid, this hat ain't very warm, I'm gonna have to change it. Back in a sec. That's better. Yeah, I know I look a wally, but I don't care, my head's nice and warm now. Bloody nippy it is round here today. I don't quite mind this bridge so much, you know, after my last couple of videos of Bridges of Doom. I know there's water right over there and it's freezing water enough to kill you. If you got dunked in, you wouldn't survive, I don't think. But there's something about the height of this bridge, the height of the barriers. I don't know, something a lot safer, much safer feel about it. Hello, my friend. You're on a strange little narrow strip of precipice, aren't you? With your mate. Great view though.
There is a fantastic view. Now bugger off.
Alright then. I'm so glad it's a bright sunny day today, which is a rarity, especially in January in Greater Manchester area. And really inspired me as I looked out the kitchen window this morning. I thought, I've got to get out, make the most of it. I had big plans actually today. If it was going to be nice weather, I was going to drive to Prestatyn and continue my coastal walk. But by the time I had a really nice sleep, really amazing sleep last night, which is something that I've not had for a good few weeks. So I thought, well, you know, I had a good 9 hours probably in bed, and I probably really needed it, and that'll probably which kind of nicely moved on to some of the things that I wanted to talk about today. I don't sleep well or particularly feel comfortable this time of the year. And I don't know if it's to do with, maybe it's a combination of factors. I'm sure some of it is because of seasonal affective disorder, commonly known as SAD, which can affect you in lots of different ways. I think firstly the thing that triggers it for me is the clocks going back in autumn, and then the nights get shorter and shorter, longer and longer, should I say. Days get shorter, and the time when the sun rises in the morning gets later and later, and its sun sets earlier and earlier, so that you feel like you're almost having a 5-hour day in the height of winter, and that's not good for the soul. I love waking up when it's sunny and bright outside, naturally, and finishing work and going home to have many hours of doing whatever you like to do. Going to the pub, doing some hobbies, going for a walk. That really inspires me during the summer when we have these really long days. I don't know if you can see that over there, but there's obviously some kind of, maybe some police rescue service practicing, or maybe it's the water board doing a training session. It's almost like a glass mirror this morning, the reservoir here. So I just noticed the other end of the reservoir, what looks like a police van and maybe a car as well, and a little boat. So let's hope it's just a practice, and they're not actually looking for someone. Just a drill, perhaps. Anyway, let's get through this lovely enchanted. The footpath goes through these tall trees here, and it's always lovely. I love this bit, especially nice in autumn, of course. But with the beautiful light today, it's amazing. And of course, it's that beautiful light, to go back to what I was saying before, that we don't often get in the Greater Manchester area, or any of this basin, if you like. I mean, Manchester is here because, famously, because it's the birthplace of the Industrial Revolution, or a key factor in what happened a couple of 100 years ago. The fact that it was bad weather and rainy and humid all the time meant that the factories that were milling the cotton and the materials, the textiles, and the corn for the burgeoning population weren't in danger of sparks and dry weather igniting the material. Of course, one thing that I've noticed probably since I've been up here in the north of England for roughly half my life, the other half down south and to the east and west of London, is the fact that the weather is generally a lot clearer and brighter and warmer down there. Is it something like every 100 miles south it's an extra degrees warmer on average? Something like that. I certainly seem to remember as a child, during the school summer holidays, the 6 weeks holiday, that there was a lot brighter and clearer, a lot less rainy, cloudy weather than in Manchester, and maybe even on the northeast where I first moved to when I moved north. It's probably a bit clearer there. It's Manchester, the Manchester basin, and the bad weather, I guess, coming in from the sea and being trapped. Can't go north because of the Lake District, can't go east because of the Pennines, can't go south because of the Welsh mountains, and it just sinks here. So for that reason, I do miss it. And sometimes I ask myself the question, well, how did I not notice sooner that I was getting sad, or some kind of seasonal depression, if you like, alteration to my body clock and everything, when I first moved up here. And perhaps it's just because I was clubbing all the time, and out and about, nighttime was my thing back then, whereas now I'm more of a walker and a sedate sort of hobbyist, and perhaps that's the reason why. And there's an old, we have a sort of, I guess what you might call a friendly rivalry. There's friendly rivalry on lots of different levels in this world. I think the British have a friendly rivalry with Americans. Similarly with, for example, Man United and Man City. For most people, at least, there's a friendly rivalry. Manchester and Liverpool, and there is a friendly rivalry between the north and the south of England. Some people take it a bit too far, and they do say it's grim up north. But I tend to agree with that opinion. There's another saying as well, which I'm trying to recall, something like correlation is not confirmation, or something like that. I do wonder about these little things, as I'm wandering around aimlessly for miles in the countryside. For example, because it's dirtier and windier and rainier and muddier up north, does that make psychologically people less? Does it make them notice dirt less? Because I'm pretty sure that cities down south are a lot cleaner than ones up north. I'll be slated for that, I'm sure. Buxton Mountain Rescue Team. I hope it is just a practice, There's a guy down here, maybe I'll ask him. Is it just a drill, or is it?
No, we're searching for somebody. He's our person. Yeah.
That's terrible news.
Yeah.
Good luck with it.
Good luck, yeah.
Well, as you probably just heard, guys, I asked the chap there. He was the Buxton Mountain Rescue Team drone technician or something. There's a title and a half, isn't there? They are actually looking for someone. So, oh God, hope they find him. Please let it be so, because it must be bloody chilly in those reservoirs today. It's bloody chilly outside the reservoirs, let alone in them. So anyway, I've given you some idea of my musings over the last few weeks, month or two, as winter has approached and still has some time to go yet. And trying to think of solutions that I can come up with to combat the problem that I seem to find myself with every year. Of course, what many people do who have got the money is they just have a summer home in the south of winter home, in the south of Spain, on the coast there somewhere, or somewhere a bit warmer and clearer, and they go there during the winter months and come back in the British summer. That is one solution, of course. That's quite a costly thing to do, though, unless perhaps I found a job teaching abroad for 3 to 6 months a year. So that's a possible option. Another option, of course, is, as I spoke to my friend at work the other day, we were talking about those special lamps that radiate light similar to that from the sun. And they're quite expensive. Do they actually work? Some people say they do. But who wants to come home and sit in front of a lamp all day, all night? That's not really my idea of fun. Similarly though, the prospect of finishing work as I do around 3 o'clock, get home by about 3:30, when it's just starting to get dark, and then sit in your flat for 8 or 9 hours till midnight, and then another 7 or 8 hours in the morning before you have to get up and go to work. That's a long period of time. I really don't know how those Scandinavians do it, where it's month after month of continuously dark during the night and the day. I just don't know how they do it. People do some strange things, don't they? Tree in the middle of nowhere with baubles on it. So then I've been thinking to myself, well, what do normal people do? Especially people up north and in Scandinavian countries and other countries where we're away from the equator and therefore have much longer nights during the winter. What do? Well, I guess a large percentage of the population watch TV, don't they? But that's never really appealed to me. There's the occasional film that I like to see, the occasional bit of comedy that used to be good before woke came along. But apart from that, what else is there to do? You cook your dinner, you watch TV, you go to bed. Maybe you have a hobby, but you can't have a hobby 5, 6, 7 days a week or evenings a week. I mean, in the dark, especially my hobbies, getting out and walking, running. I do like painting and doing crafty stuff, but again, by the time it gets dark that time of night, your body is automatically, your body clock, it's a circadian rhythm, is it? It's just automatically starting to say, time for bed soon, time for bed soon. So, I mean, what do you do? Where do you go? This has been my dilemma for the last month, I would guess. What do? I live by myself. I'm not married or got a partner. I guess there's another reason why you might want to stay at home. Good old fireside chats and snuggling up, watching a film with a bottle of wine with your partner. Maybe you've got kids, so you've got them to entertain you or to entertain in the evenings till they go to bed. I'm single, and to be totally honest, lonely, spending months and months with half a day in darkness inside my 13th floor apartment. So I've ended up going to the pub, and that's an easy way to become an alcoholic, Go to the pub so that you're in a nice, warm, cosy surrounding with people that, regulars that you would call your extended family, so to speak. with friendly bar staff, nice beers to drink and a lovely atmosphere, talking, putting the world to rights, and laughing and joking with people that you're close to. So you can see why so many single men end up lonely and in the pub and then tripping over from, walking home drunk one night, and that's the end. Here's the alternative. If it was a choice between that and going home to a loved one and watching TV, I don't know. There's something lacking in both those alternatives, and that's adventure and living life to the full. And people that, if you live in the Mediterranean country or something, somewhere like that, where the days are much longer, a lot more of the time, you're very lucky, especially if you've got family around you as well, and beaches and nice things to do, sports, late on at night. Very, very lucky. Consider yourself lucky, because it's a dilemma, and I wonder whether I'm just by myself on this or whether anyone else agrees. Certainly, I could say for almost certain that the regulars that go in the pub, which are mostly men, would feel similarly to me. And I can hear you saying, "Oh, you're still young enough to find someone. You still find happiness. Some people find the love of their life at 85. Yeah, fine, I understand that. And I've some kind of way I've made my own bed, and I've lied in it. 10, 15 years of being single, which has been absolutely fantastic. Believe me, there are absolutely loads of benefits to being single, and I've revelled in every single one of them. But you get to a certain stage in your life and you start thinking, what's it all about? What have I, you want to share with people what you're doing, which I guess in a weird kind of way is partly what I'm doing here. Even though I've only got 103 subscribers, I'm sharing what I'm doing with someone. Perhaps if I had a wife, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel. Who knows? I'm happy with my lot, and if I end up being single for the rest of my days, fair enough. I made decisions earlier on when I was having relationships in my early 20s and 30s and 40s, that I was more content being single. And so you get what you choose, sort of thing. Just have a quick say hello to the Tunnel of Doom. Hello, Tunnel of Doom. I think there's been a screenshot there before, and maybe there's definitely another one now. Yeah, you make your bed, you lie in it, and you get to a certain stage of your life. And I think there is quite a loneliness epidemic. There's been a lot of stuff on news and social media recently of the male loneliness epidemic, because males generally, historically and biologically, have always fancied feminine, friendly females. Generally, of course, there are groups that don't, but the general consensus is feminine and friendly. And I don't think there's a large proportion of, with the pill and then the 60s and feminism and wokeness now. I think there's a tendency now towards, because females are independent and they don't need men and all that sort of stuff, to sort of think that they can do absolutely everything. But really deep down, I think, in the core of our beings, generally, keep having to put that word in these days, don't you? I would say men want feminine, friendly females, and I don't mean obedient, but like ones that they can look after and care for, and who are nurturing. And I think also deep down, females, ladies want a masculine man. You know, you see on dating websites that you can see in real life. They go for the taller, the broader, more muscular men with higher income. And, for a man to be successful on dating websites, you need one of those things. You need muscles, money, or masculinity, I guess, to a certain extent. And we've lost that. We've lost that. I'm not blaming women for the feminism movement and everything. Everybody should have equal rights on this planet, but I don't think we have equal abilities. So yeah, there you go. That's my penny. Yes, I kind of lost track there, and I still have to stop. You know, when people walk past me, I still feel too self-conscious to continue talking to myself in a camera, especially when it's about this kind of subject. But yeah. God, I'm such a waffly old idiot, aren't I? So I started talking about the male loneliness epidemic, because men, rather than deal with butch, masculine, go-get-it, sweary, rude, disrespectful women, men are saying, well, sod it then. I can't be bothered. Can't be bothered dating. I'll just do what I've done, you know, be happy and single, and be with the lads, and do my own thing, and have hobbies, and spend the money on things that I like doing. And I think as a result of that, women perhaps have made a rod for their own back. Yeah, I think a lot of women who maybe had a relationship and a career and a kid early on, like in their perhaps late 20s, early 30s, are suddenly realising, you know, when the relationship comes to an end, because perhaps she's been too demanding on the man, or demanding on herself or the family, and then when they're looking for a new relationship, they're looking for a new man to replace the one that left because he was fed up, and or the relationship just petered out, and she's trying to find a new man with all of these wants and wishes. He's got to be so tall and have earned so much money per year, and be financially sorted, with his own house, and also got to want me and my kid. And I mean, let's be fair, men. It's no secret, men generally age quite well, and if you look after yourself as a man, you can continue looking reasonable well into your 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond. And for women, the biological clock is ticking. They need to try and cram in a baby if they can, or two, before the age of 30, because around about, you know, early to mid 30s, the biological clock is ticking for having safe babies, and you know, it's a big mess. It really is a big mess. I think today, to kind of summarise, there's a lot of lonely women out there, some with kids, sitting at home in the evenings with a bottle of wine, and maybe Sharon comes round who's in a similar predicament, and there's a lot of lonely men sat in the pubs with their mates, and that's a sad state of affairs. You know, men and women were generally made for each other and meant to be together and meant to form loving, strong bond partnerships with each other and have a family, and you know, isn't that what life's all about? And it's all become splintered and lonely. Anyway, I don't care, it's too late for me to have kids now. These days they say that men do. They say that men can have kids, don't they? What a load of bollocks that is. Anyway, look at the beautiful hills. Dined for a wee, of course, and bought some chopped up salami and cheese, spicy cheese with me, so I'll have to stop soon and have that. Oh, and I've got a flask of coffee, that would be good. Do you know what? I turned off a little path there and I think I've discovered another route. Every time I've been coming down these reservoirs for years. Last time I came, I discovered a little windy road to Padfield that I didn't know about before. And here I am again. I've never come across this style before. And you can see there's the reservoir road down there. I'm sure that's where I would normally be. I'm kind of running up high and parallel to that. It's just crazy. While I'm at it, they are unusual, these little... I'd love to know the history of this. Was it a river at one point? I can't imagine it was this high up. Was it little sheep droving? Was it, for droving the sheep down the hills? Especially, look, this side. A deep cut into the otherwise smoothly sloping ground. Is it ancient? Is it just a few hundred years old? Was it for sheep? Did it have a different purpose at all? I love these questions and I wish I knew some answers. And it's not the first one. Other walks I've been on are very similar things. Goodbye, Rezzers. Nice to see you again. Right down in the distance there, you can still see there, down there, look, the emergency vehicles. Hope they find whoever it is. In the meantime, we struggle on ahead up this rather steep, windy road to Little Padfield and the pub whose name I can't remember, with the Longdendale Trail way, way down below. Let's get to the pub. You can see after a glorious view from my window this morning, sunlight and aircraft trails in the sky, you see it's turned a rather dismal grey, which kind of brings us back to the original bit of the conversation we were having over the other side of the reservoirs, the valley there. And I don't want you to think, if you're watching this video, that I'm I love women. I love women. They're lovely things, and I think they have just as many, if not more, things to offer than men, probably. And deep down inside me, I hope I meet that right one day. I've been privileged enough to have, a long time ago now, of course, but 3 or 4 really lovely, close relationships with ladies, and some that I look back on more fondly than others, and perhaps with a little bit of regret that me or they weren't better adapted to being compatible with each other at the time. But if this is my fate, then I'll embrace it, and I am happy to be this way for the rest of my life. There's still lots of lovely women in my life, and I get great joy from that. But it would be nice, this little sneaky part of me says that it would be nice just to have that someone special. And in fact, I was thinking, people are kind of, young couples especially in their late 20s, 30s, are turning away from the sort of feminist, both women go out, both man and woman go out to work, and kids looked after by a nanny kind of thing. Some are actually settling down and having kids, and the woman is staying at home and the man's going to work. And some the other way around, of course, depending on the how the relationship works. And also a lot more, as you can see on YouTube, embracing things like van life. Buying a van, doing it up, bed inside, sometimes the toilet, little kitchen, and just going exploring the world. Exploring the world, see what it has to offer. Instead of being a 9 to 5, go home, dinner and TV kind of existence, which is just dismal, isn't it? Almost as dismal as those clouds behind me there. White House Farm bed and breakfast. I'm hoping it's not that room there, and more like one of those. They are lovely, aren't they, those cottages there? So cute. Reminds me of the Cotswolds almost, with how tiny and cute they are. Thank you to the Peel's Arms for a lovely half a Guinness. A refreshing stop on my way to Glossop. And now, as I leave the little town of Padfield behind me, the sleet has come and the temperature has dropped again. Oh, the weather forecast says sunny again in about an hour. Can't see that happening, can you? Hello, my friend. You look very pissed off. At least you got a coat on, eh? Have a good day. Okay, you have a good day too, thank you. The question is, do I risk it over here? Get away from the road? Do I risk it down here? Go on the road. Gonna have to give it a go, aren't I? This is where I normally come. Could be very boggy though. Bull's Head, half a brother rabbit. Oh, that's beautiful. Thornbridge, you can't go wrong with Thornbridge. Distant Hills Brewery, Belgian brewed. Very nice. Chocolate orange stout. Wow. Thanks, Distant Hills Brewery, for a couple of lovely halves. And now I'm going to make my way to the train station. I did notice in there as well that, glancing at their menu, £15 for a Sunday roast with all the trimmings. That's pretty good. That's pretty good, and it did look and smell absolutely delicious. I think I might have to try it one day. Not today though, because I've got mashed potato, rare roast beef, horseradish waiting for me at home with gravy. Well, thanks to the Star Inn for furnishing with me a pint when I was waiting for a train that I just missed. Thanks to Glossop for providing the destination of my journey today. And thanks to you lot for watching my video and subscribing. See you soon. Love you loads.